ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। भगवद गीता चैप्टर 2 वर्स नंबर 19। यह एनं वेत्ति हन्तारं, यह च एनं मन्यते हतम्, उभौ तौ न विजानीतो न अयं हन्ति न हन्यते। He who considers the soul to be either the killer or the killed is ignorant, for the self neither slays nor is slain by anyone. So Krishna is continuing to describe the characteristics of the spiritual atom called the soul. The explanations as well as the logic given by Krishna related to the soul is unprecedented. In the study of ontology, which is the study of existence or being, such explanation or description is not seen anywhere else. In no other religion in the world, such in-depth understanding of the soul is available. The concept of the soul does exist in other religions, but the understanding is very, very superficial. How the soul differs from the matter and how the interaction between the soul and the matter takes place is not very clearly explained or understood in other religions. But here Krishna in Bhagavad Gita is explaining the fundamental nature of the living entity and vividly explaining what soul is, what are its characteristics, and what it is and what it is not. This nature or this explanation of the living entity is fundamental to the existence of every being in this world, whether it's a human, animal, insect, plant, etc. And in that sense, these truths explained in Bhagavad Gita apply to each and every living entity, just like the medical science is applicable to everyone, irrespective whether the person is born in the US, in India, in Africa, in China, wherever one may belong to any ethnicity or for that matter any religion. The same human anatomy is applicable to everyone. The same concepts of medical science is applicable to every human being. So just like the understanding of medical science is so fundamental in treating the disease of any human across the world, similarly the understanding of Bhagavad Gita, the understanding of the soul that Krishna is giving here, is fundamental to spiritual realization of every or any living being, for that matter, irrespective of what community, religion, caste, nation or ethnicity one belongs to. It would not be incorrect to say that Bhagavad Gita is the basis of every other spiritual or religious treatise or body of thought. There are over 4,000 religions in the world, and if one studies all of them objectively, we will see that they in one way or other are deriving all the concepts from Bhagavad Gita only. Here Krishna is explaining something which is not that easy to understand and one may be confused, but let's make a sincere effort to understand what Krishna is explaining in this verse. He explains that in every action there are two things, the subject and the object, the doer of the action and one who receives the effect of that action or on whom the action is being performed. So for example, in this battlefield, in the act of killing, there are those who are getting killed and those who are going to be killing. Arjun was very disturbed that many of his relatives, close friends, cousins will get killed in this battlefield. And Krishna explained that this is your misunderstanding, because what will get killed is the body, which in one sense is dead matter anyways, but the real identity of each one of these individuals is their spirit soul, and that soul will not be killed. It is easy to understand in one sense that the soul will not be killed, and in the last several verses this is what Krishna was explaining. But now he adds to that, stating that not only that the soul will not be killed, but the soul is not the doer either, because there is someone who is killing in an act of battle, in act of killing. Someone is getting killed and someone is killing. So he is explaining here that not only the person who's getting killed is actually not getting killed in the sense that the soul is eternal, indestructible, but the person who's killing is also not killing because the soul never kills. Now this may be a bit difficult to grasp. So let's understand what is Krishna referring to when he says the soul. And this is where language at times is not competent enough to explain the spiritual subject matter. When Krishna refers to the soul, he is referring to that spiritual atom that is eternal, which is pure and beyond birth and death, that spiritual atom which is eternally part and parcel of the supreme absolute truth. So then what is it that is doing this action? That soul does have desire, and then when that desire is independent of the supreme and it manifests as desire to enjoy in this material world, is accepts a false ego, which is the subtle body, as we discussed before, mind, intelligence and false ego. Because of that false ego, it develops this feeling that I am the doer, and that causes karma, and good and bad karma, which then causes a cycle of birth and death. The soul accepts this material body to fulfill its material desires, and so many such actions, good and bad, are performed through the body that is being directed by this false mind and false ego, just to fulfill the desire of the soul to enjoy independent of the Supreme Lord. Krishna will explain this in great detail throughout Bhagavad Gita. Here, when he is explaining this concept of doer not being the doer and object not being the object in the sense of getting killed, this refers to every action that a soul performs, or for that matter, the living entity performs. In every action, that false sense of being the doer is what is the cause of all the problems. But when one transcends that desire or that concept or that false feeling of being the doer, one does not, in a spiritual sense, do any actions. There's a beautiful pastime Special Gurudev used to explain to illustrate this point. Once the gopis in Vrindavan took pots filled with butter and milk and many other milk products to take it to the ashram of Durvasa Rishi, which was on the other side of Jamuna. When they came to the banks of Jamuna, the river was flooded and there was no boat to take them across. The gopis saw Krishna sitting on one side and they approached him and said, "O Krishna, can you help us cross the river?" So Krishna said, "Well, you just go to Jamuna and pray that if Krishna has never seen a woman in his life, then please give us way." Then hearing this, gopis started laughing. "Oh, you are always running around behind us, and how is it that you have never seen any woman? This is not true." Krishna said, "Well, if you want to cross the river, go and try." The gopis went and they prayed like this to Jamuna, and to their amazement, Jamuna gave way and they easily crossed across the river to the other side. They had brought a lot of different cooked things, puris, halwa, sabji, butter, kheer for Durvasa Rishi. And they went and offered everything to Durvasa Rishi. He ate everything. So much food stuff, he ate all by himself. He was very satisfied, blessed them. Now the gopis had to go back, and when they realized, oh, the river is flooded, they asked Durvasa Rishi, "Can you help us go back?" So he asked, "How did you come here?" So they said, "Well, Krishna told us to pray to Jamuna that if he has never seen a woman, then to give us the way." So Durvasa said, oh, he smiled. He said, "Okay, go and tell Jamuna that if Durvasa has never eaten anything in his life, then please give us way." Hearing this, the gopis were very surprised. They said, "Right in front of us, you ate so much food, then how is it that you have not eaten? And Krishna, who's always running after the gopis, how is it that he has never been with a woman? We don't understand it." Then Durvasa Rishi explained, well, that Krishna is the supreme absolute truth and he does not have that false ego of being the doer. And by his mercy and the austerities that I perform, I don't have that karta bhav, means that feeling or that false ego of being the doer either. So even though it seems my body is eating all this food, I have no attachment to eating or not eating. It is simply an action being performed by this body, but I am completely aloof from it. So when the gopis went to the Jamuna and prayed that if Durvasa has never eaten anything, please give us way, and to their surprise, Jamuna gave them way to go on the other side. Now, one thing we must understand here very carefully, that what Krishna is explaining here is not a license to kill. Because someone may use this an argument to say, well, I don't have the feeling of being the doer, so I can go and kill anyone and I should not incur any sin, or it should not be considered a crime. So it is another important thing to understand in here, that someone who will actually be at that level of realization of being not the doer will not do anything irreligious. What is religion? Religion is following the instructions of the scriptures, following the instructions of the Supreme Lord. When actions are performed as a service to the Lord, then it is religion. But actions that are performed independent of his desire is irreligion. Krishna will state in the 27th verse of the 9th chapter, Yat karoshi yat ashnasi yat juhoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi tat kurushva kante mat arpanam. O son of Kunti, all that you do, all that you eat, all that you offer, and give away, as well as all austerities that you may perform, should be done as an offering unto me. This is a very, very important point in understanding this particular verse, that unless one develops that consciousness where one can perform each and every action as a service unto the Lord, till that time that feeling of doership will not go away. So therefore, if one kills simply to revenge or out of one's own personal desires, that is sinful, that is a crime, and one will have to suffer both in this world and after this for that crime. But here Krishna is telling Arjun to fight a religious battle as per his instruction. So therefore, in this case, the act performed by Arjun will not be that of killing like any other ordinary killing. In the commentary, Shri Gurudev says that therefore, becoming fully aware of this truth, Krishna says, give up your identification with the gross body and become situated in the nature of the self. Surrendering unto me, fearlessly engage in your duty for my pleasure. Do not remain in ignorance about this at all. Hare Krishna. If you have any questions about this verse or any other verse, please feel free to send me your questions and we will discuss to the best of our capability. Hare Krishna. Have a very blessed day.
Krishna Krishna Hare